Thank you, Karine. I have two questions on debt and deficit. First, the budget that the White House proposed last year represented 102% of the country's economic output. Is the administration aiming for something below that this year?
I'm just not going to get ahead of the president's budget that's coming out on March 9th. You'll be able to view that once he's ready to speak to it.
But directionally, where are discussions going?
I hear you. I hear you're asking me for direction. You're asking me what is it potentially going to look like, the ballpark number. I'm just not going to get ahead of the president.
And then on the debt itself, you said earlier that the difference between 2011 and now is the number of times that Republicans have been able to pass the debt limit on a clean basis without anything attached to it. But the other difference is that the national debt has more than doubled in that time. It now is about $240,000 per household. Does the president believe that that is sustainable?
Well, let's remember why we have seen that the last couple of years, right? I mean, we have seen that it balloon in the way that you just spoke to. Let's not forget the Trump tax cut, the $2 trillion 2017 Trump tax cut. If you think about that, if you think about the first piece of legislation that Republicans put forward was going to increase the debt limit by $100 billion. And so there's been time after time that we have seen action that has been incredibly, not prudent to what we need to be doing in moving the country forward. The deficit increased every single year under Trump. His 4 years in office are responsible for 25% of our total national debt from the last 230 plus years. And so, look, there's been action that's been taken by Republicans in Congress that has led to where we are today. Again, their first piece of legislation just weeks ago in this new Congress would have increased the deficit by $100 billion. And let's not forget why. To help tax cheats, wealthy tax cheats. That's what they wanted to do. This is a president for the first 2 years has taken lowering the deficit very seriously and has done it in a historic fashion.
Will this administration pledge to be deficit neutral this year?
Look, what I can say is the president is committed to dealing with lowering the deficit. He has a record to speak to, as I just mentioned, the $1.7 billion that he has been able to do in the first 2 years to lower the deficit, and he is willing to have a good faith conversation, right, with anybody, Democrats, Independents, Republicans, to talk about how do we continue to move forward to do that, to deliver for the American people, yes, on important programs and issues, but also how are we going to continue to lower the deficit, which he thinks is incredibly important.